Yeah, you better rope that one back there pretty good.
Yeah, give me a second here and I will.
All right, we're down here. I got my good buddy Luke on the camera. We picked up a new piece of property this year. Our hunt club has a piece of property down here in West Virginia. Pretty steep terrain, a little more steep than what we're used to up in the flatlands in Ohio where we're at, but should be pretty good. We got a spot up here on this bench. They seem to be traveling this bench pretty well. When we came down the first time, there's a ravine that runs right here. We went all the way to the corner where we found out where they're crossing that ravine at. There's only one spot that we found in probably a half a mile that they're actually crossing. So we just backtracked it up right across this bench where I'm gonna have a ladder stand, and then you come right up this trail right here. And this bench follows this terrain feature all the way around and then drops off. And the reason that we actually thought to backtrack this is when we were down by the road just scouting the other day, we jumped a doe right by the road. And when she cut up the hill, we said, oh, we need to go up top, figure out where they're crossing that ravine at, and we just kind of met in the middle, and that's where we found it. Everybody will grab something. You wouldn't catch me sitting in one of these if you paid me.
Yeah. They're rated for $350.
I sat in one of these one time, and the cables folded over themselves, and that was the end of that. This is the first step on this hill. It goes up probably another, I would say probably 600 yards and probably another 350, 400 feet in elevation change. It seems like this is kind of the sweet spot. We're about halfway up the first section of this hill. Where they cross the road down here, there's four corners. Where they cross the road, they come up the side of this hill, and they run this bench all the way around to where it crosses that ravine. So it seems like this is probably one of our best bets. They bed right down here, right in that thick stuff you guys came through at the bottom. That's where they bed at.
What happened?
They're bedding right here. Walking in to set this set up. We just kicked, how many was that, 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Just kicked up 3 or 4. They're bedding on this little knob right down here. So this is gonna be a tricky one to get in. We're gonna have to make sure the wind's right and the timing's right. I'm thinking to get in here, we either have to come in first thing in the morning before they're coming back to bed, or maybe the afternoon, but I don't know how we're gonna get in on them with them bedding that close, other than in the morning before they get back to bed. But it might just have to be one of those spots, morning spot.
I picked this spot because a bunch of main trails came together, and it's right off of like an old logging road. Put a camera up here a week ago. Got over 1,000 pictures in just 7 days. So we're gonna see what it goes to.
Nice. What kind of stand you putting up?
I am running Hawks steps with an XOP Outdoors. Hang on. So it's gonna be great getting up in the evening, kicking deer out already. What?
You got a lot of fucking fish. I know I'm letting a cat out of the bag here, but I'm fat. And fat falls hard, Nick.
What you think?
Let me tell you about my best friends. I think we're gonna kill some deer. I think it's gonna be good. I think Nick's crazy. I don't trust hang-ons. I know everyone's gonna tell you that harnesses and saddles and hang-ons are the way to go, but no.
Not for big guys.
No. I'm sure there's someone somewhere that will disagree, and I'm sure there's probably some chubby guys watching right now that are like, "Oh, I do it all the time." Not me. No, don't put it on me. This is not an appealing angle. Look at this.
I've been doing it the whole time.
But no joke, probably, I would say a good 75% of the deer if not 80% of the deer that I've ever shot out of a tree stand has been in a climber, because I like moving around a lot. And I would say that 75, 80% I've probably killed in trees where I wasn't more than 10 or 12 feet off the ground. And all of which have been under probably 15 yards. Everyone always talks about you need to get high, you know. How high, you know, can you get your climbing sticks or your stand, be above their line of sight? But like, I like getting in close to them to where by the time they know that I'm there, my arrow's already gone. So we don't have any sponsors or anything like that. We just have products that we really believe in. And let me tell you, if you don't have a big game 1.5, go find yourself one. Because these things are like sitting in a lazy boy in the woods. And the worst thing about hunting when it's cold is being uncomfortable. So if comfort is important to you, like it's important to us, I highly recommend you go try one. You can find them at Rural King, like 180 bucks. 350 pound rated, so you big boys like myself can sit in them just fine. You take your kids with you, stand in between your feet, and be comfortable all day long. Because comfort makes it easy to stay in the woods. And that is what we're all shooting for. Oh yeah, that's good and tight. Just crinkled the pipe. Let me tell you something. He said he sat in them. You've never sat in them before? I told him I'm gonna come up here.
It looks like a lazy boy.
I'm gonna come up here and I'm gonna find you sitting in my tree stand just dead asleep.
Probably.
Like I got tired midday on a rut hunt. Just decided to hang out in here, take a good nap.
Yeah. Oh, this is the most comfortable thing I ever sat in. It's like a lazy boy. This is nice. Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't come. I'm gonna sit here. I'll go to sleep.
I told you.
Rifle season. I'm coming here.
Dude, I told you.
Dude, that's done. I'll sit here all day.
It's ignorant, isn't it?
That's dumb. I was gonna say you can set my lock on anytime you want, but I know that won't happen.
Yeah, anytime you want to hunt. Go ahead. Oh, fucking wobbling that thing is. I'm pretty sure we're sliding. We are going to the creek. We got another tree stand to put up. We're just putting a climber down there at a creek crossing. My thought process was early season, find the main water source. They're gonna have to hit it coming from bed and going to bed after feeding in the, at night. So we checked the creek and found a crossing. We're like, man, that looks really good. And we stood there for about 5 minutes talking, and then we jumped a nice big wide buck right out of the creek bed, and he ran up the other side of the hill. So we're pretty excited to check trail cameras and see if he's been back or what's been going through there. But it's a money spot. It should be a lot of fun. We're hanging another tree stand on the creek because that's where the deer are.
Be positive.
Oh, I know they're here. We came down here. Like I said, I wanted to be near the creek because in the early season they need to come down and drink before they go to bed and when they get up from bed. And we get in here. My corn's all gone. We heard birds chirping up here on the hill. We look up and we just eased right in here. 3 deer just went right up the hill 20 yards from us. They're in here every single day. This is a heavy, heavy crossing on this creek. This is going to be where we kill deer opening day. Can't put a ladder stand here because right off the road. We're probably 85, 90 yards off the road, but I don't want to draw attention to this spot right here because we're in the middle of nowhere. If you draw attention to it, my fear is we'll end up with road hunters trying to shoot deer right underneath my stand. And the climber won't work. This is the only tree to really put a climber in around here. But unfortunately, it's too big to get up and down safely. So I'm thinking we're just gonna brush in a blind and hopefully that'll give us a pretty clear shot from any direction they come from. So we'll see. Sometimes you get improvised. That's definitely a piebald.
Hard to tell.
Because that's the other side of her.
You ready?
Yeah, look at her. Hey, look at her in the daytime. Or in the light. Dude, all day long.
What?
Literally all day. I'm on image 620 and I'm still in the first day. Oh, here's a
There
little
we
buck.
go. That's what we need.
That's an ugly little buck. Looks like mostly does. And like I said, all of them were coming from the road. Only 877 pictures up top.
You could probably just take it right off this, can't you?
Hey,
What?
Oh my.
same deer.
Yeah.
Creek crossings over here.
Yeah.
Back again.
Yeah, back again.
Dude, he's a nice deer.
701. Came from the right.
Yeah, creek crossing.
He's a nice deer.
Yeah, that's a nice deer.
120s, 130 maybe.
Yeah. I like that kicker he's got off his side.
I like how his brow tine's curl.
I love him.
There's a spike. Definitely more bucks up top. It is September 25th. It's the deer opener. It's like Christmas, but better. We're in West Virginia. We got a lease down here in West Virginia. Nick and I are hunting down here today. Right now it's about 65 degrees. We got a cold front coming in. Super, super calm. Everything's quiet, so we're going to keep things short and sweet. It's already 4:20. Nick and I both had to work this afternoon. So we boogied down here, got down here as fast as we could. Nick jumped 3 of them right beneath his stand. He's only about 100 yards behind us. You ride this bench around. He's only about 100 yards behind us, but it's a totally different area. They come up this ravine that's down here in front of us. There's a creek crossing. They cross the creek, come up the hill. They walk this bench right around. We've had several good bucks on camera. But like I said, we're getting in here late, but we're still going to give it a go. We're going to try to keep things short and sweet. That way, we're not spooking anything. Getting up here, we did have one down in that ravine blowing at us. So, cool weather. It's calm. There's a front coming in. Should be a good night, but they're already on their feet, and we still got about 3 hours of daylight left, so we're gonna sit tight and see what happens. Height, wind, no more. I'm good at math, okay? So, fat and high hurts when you fall.
Hit the water, look at it.
There she is.
Okay.
Hey, hell yeah.
All right. Worked out pretty well. All right. Hey, Zach, we found her. Shot this deer tonight, opening day. It's my first opening day doe or buck ever. Came in right at last light and 20-yard shot. She went about 130 yards. It was a very eventful evening tonight. Seen right around 12 or 13 deer and no bucks, but it was a very fun night. Great opening day.
All right, let's slap a tag on her. What is it?
Phoenix.
Where'd you get it?
Amazon.
That thing is bright.
It is. And it's not even on the highest setting.
Wow. So what are you thinking the plan is for tomorrow, Big Hoss?
I'm gonna try the creek. Nick was successful. We got a deer in the bed of the side-by-side, which is cool. Good icebreaker for the year. So we boogered this side up pretty good. We're gonna go over the other side of the road. I think we're gonna try to hunt the creek. That spot, kind of hard because there's not really anywhere to put a stand at. But we're thinking about throwing a pop-up blind up, seeing what happens. But they frequent that spot. I mean, when it's warm this time of year, they got a drink. It makes a lot of sense to try the creek. It's gonna be a little warmer tomorrow, so we're thinking that should pan out for us pretty well. You got food style? Is that snacks?
What we got going on, Zach?
I don't know. My dad's on his way. Couldn't be much worse than watching the Steelers in the truck while we're parked. So there's that. But then we got a loose wheel. We're down on the road. The whole back end's wobbling like this. So I don't know. We're gonna find out. And if not, then we're not gonna go on it. So I don't know. We are back. Got the truck fixed. Turns out it was just a couple loose lug nuts that was making the tire wobble. I just had some work done on my truck, and apparently when they put the wheel back on, they didn't tighten everything down. So my dad was nice enough to drive out, take some time out of his day, come help us. But we're back on the road and back to deer hunting. All right, you see where we're at, Taco Bell for dinner. So we're not having back straps, which is unfortunate, but we had a good opening weekend. We hunted hard. We did end up seeing one doe tonight on the creek bed, but she came in, she crossed the creek on our left-hand side, and that was the side we did not expect them to be on. And the window wasn't open far enough, so when I came to full draw, I was about an inch shy of having enough room to slide an arrow out that window. I tried to use my stabilizer to push the window down a little bit, but she caught that. She took off running. But like I said, we had a good weekend. We hunted hard. It was a harsh reality check, slap back into reality as far as deer hunting goes. You're always looking at pictures and photos all summer long of deer that are in there every day. Then you go out, and if you're not paying attention to your wind, your thermals, your movement, you'll have the same luck. So be sure to like, subscribe, comment. We'll be back next week. Take it easy.
What happened?
Cameras popping off. I thought that it was going to be a deer, but it's just raccoons. I was going to say, if we sat there all afternoon and didn't see a deer other than the one, and as soon as we leave, just pictures coming through, I was going to be as salty as a soft pretzel, but it's just raccoons. So,
All right, let's get some tacos.
tacos. It's not Tuesday, but they're good anyway.